everyone, this is Arlene. I'm here today with a video for my favorite things, and I wanted to share with you a card that I created for this month's Design Team Creative Challenge. And the Creative Challenge for the month of September is no coloring. So it was basically to create a card without using your Copic markers, your paints, your color pencils. It's just basically a stamped image and trying to bring that to life without the color. And this is the card that I created. I used the PI Water Lily stamp set. So the image is from that set as well as the sentiment. It says you're an inspiration. And what I did is I took the little PI girl and I stamped her directly onto some craft cardstock. And that's all I did. It was really easy. I used my Memento black ink, and that was it. And then I just cut her out with my ovals nesties and layered her up on top of my scallop oval nesties, and that was it. The paper collection that I'm using is super fun. It's new in my stash. It's from a Glitz pack by Glitz, and it's called Afternoon Muse, and it has these little banners, these little vintage banners, which I thought were really fun. So I took paper from the same stack and I used the mini Pennants, which is this set right here. Super fun set with all of those little stamped words. You can fit them perfectly in these pennants, and these layer nicely right on top of each other. So it's a small, large, small, large. So you can cut those out and layer them on top of each other. But I chose not to layer them. And what I did is I just cut them out and I created my own little banner up at the top here. And I wanted to show you guys how you can achieve that really grungy, distressed look and kind of bring your card to life. You see my banner's popping up. It's not flat on the card. And same with my scallops. You can see that. This is the Simply Scallops Large die-namics. I did 3 layers from the design paper, and basically when I laid them down, all I did was just took my fingernail, my finger, and I just started playing around until they started curling up a little bit, and just kept playing around with that. And really fun to do. And basically when I layer them onto each other, I only apply the adhesive on this side, right along the edge, and that way I can flip up the scallops. And this right here is part of the first award ribbon dynamic set. It's the smaller banner, fishtail banner, and I stamped the sentiment directly on there, and the sentiment was actually layered on top of each other. It said you're an, and then inspiration was right below it. So as you know, you can always only ink up a portion of your stamp set and make it one sentiment going left to right versus stacked on top of each other. Hope that makes sense. So that's how I was able to put that sentiment fitted on the banner. And then obviously I created more dimension with my banner. I don't like the banner to sit flat. I like it to kind of pop up a little bit. And the best way to do that is to sort of play around with the cutout. Once you cut it out, you just kind of manipulate it a little bit and then curl up the sides with your fingertips. And you only adhere there and there. And it basically makes it pop up like that. Super fun. And these little pearls are from Recollections. These are from my stash. And I use some of the Twinery twine here in Cappuccino. And then I use some of the MFT ribbon here, and this is in the brown color. It comes in the brown pack. Really love it. Now, creating this curly distressed look on the paper, it's really fun. I Tim Holtz paper distressor, and I like to hold my paper like this, and you're going to angle it up, and you're going to make it so that it kind of curls, not necessarily like distresses the paper, where you get all those little flyaway little thingies, but you basically push on it so it kind of curls. And don't be afraid to bend the paper, that's okay. The whole point of this being you're trying to distress the paper, so it's not just plain and flat. So that's typically what I do. As you can see, it's not creating too many little small flyaways. It's really just kind of putting a little bit of pressure at an angle to make the paper curl. And then what I do when I adhere the bottom to put it onto my card, I only adhere don't adhere all the way to the end, because then you won't be able to obviously curl the paper. I usually adhere just around right there. Okay, so then once I lay it down onto my card, let me just show you how I do this. And so what I'll do is I'll adhere it down, and you'll see how we've already started it here. It's already kind of distressed. typically what I do at that point then is I just take my fingernail and I just kind of push in just a little bit more, like so, and I just kind of curl it in just a little bit, and as you could tell, it's creating a little bit more distress there. Okay, and then you do the same thing a little bit down the line here. And you don't want to do it like all the way, you know, just random spots. And then I'll probably do it like over here, just with your fingernail again. This is how you get the worn look. Well, at least this is how I do it. I'm sure folks have their own method of doing this. But that's how I do it. So I start off with my Tim Holtz paper distressor, and then once I adhere it down, I hold and use my fingernail to curl up. And that's what I did here. So you can see I used my fingernail to curl up the edges on the different parts of the card. Okay, so that's how I created my card. Oh, here's the inside. Really simple. I just took one piece of designer paper, laid it down, and then I added another simple, Simply Scallops Large, some more of those Recollection Pearl, and then I used the mini Pennants die-namics again here, and I flicked up. As you can tell, it's got some dimension on it, on the banner. It's not flat. I like to flick it up a little bit. So these cards, you know, typically you obviously don't mail it in an envelope because it's got a lot of dimension. Usually what I do is I wrap it in a plastic envelope. I like those clear plastic envelopes from clearbags.com. And then what I do is I stick it into a CD box. So you can get a CD box over at your USPS, U.S. Postal Service office, and it's perfect for mailing dimensional cards. So that is my project for today's creative challenge. And this challenge is for the design team, just to kind of share different ways to create with this theme. And again, the theme is no coloring. And that's my card. Check out my blog for more details on this, and be sure to visit Kim's blog so you can check out all of the other creations the design team has come up with.